Evening all. Right, I want to talk about happy hardcore. It's a filthy, filthy, dirty genre of music. When I was a teenager, I listened to all the breakbeat stuff, listened to like the earlier stuff, listened to house. By the time it was like 93, 94, it was like I was listening to house. I was still listening to like hardcore on the radio, on the pirate stations and that. I had other friends who were into like the indie music, some people into hip hop. I listened to all of it. But like nobody I knew, none of my friends were really into like hardcore. Like some were like into it earlier, and we had tapes that we'd like taped from like pirate stations the year before, and the odd set here and there what we'd got, and like none of us were buying the records because everyone's just into the other shit, So it was like. It was just not what my crew was into. None of my friends were into it. So it got to 94, 95, and it was getting like faster and filthier. Like I messed with jungle a bit in like 94, 95, but it just wasn't. It felt a bit depressing. You know what I mean? And like some of my mates were into the drum and bass and jungle. Like Goldie Timeless came out in like 95, and everybody loved it. But it was like. What's the opposite of that? Do you know what I mean? It's like I want something happy. I want something like fucking uplifting. And so I was still listening to like the pirate radio stations. Like Fantasy FM had come back on, Sheffield one, and I got to one tape in particular that I recorded off there with DJ Dream. It's on my YouTube, and it was just that period where like happy hardcore wasn't quite like Toy Towny yet. Was still a bit of like he was still a bit respected, And then later it was like all the Vibalite tapes, Club Kinetic tapes, Adrenaline, all these big events, and that for me was just like this is the greatest, most energetic, fun music, Always loved house. House was always my number one. As the years went on. Every once in a while I'd listen to a bit of happy hardcore just to be like, yeah, it gets me in the mood for like going cycling or whatever. But I never really like bought much of it because like back then like the good tunes were so expensive if you could find them, before the internet. And I was doing house, so I was mainly playing house. I was doing house mixtapes, DJing now and again, playing house. Used to do a bit of hip hop, and so the happy hardcore thing never really a priority, but every now and then I pick up the odd record off Discogs, so I got like a decent amount of it. But like recently, I like a couple of years ago, I was trying to find this old tape what I recorded off this guy at college from Uprising Sheffield, and I swear Uprising in full station on YouTube is amazing. Like so many of the tapes are up on uploaded to listen to. Could not find this tape. I was like, I'm sure it was either M Zone, Paulo, or Kenny Sharp. I could not remember which. I listened to everyone anyway, and only recently I actually found it. I remember specifically it had Axis So In Love on. And I wanted to find it years ago so I could ID that track and get it. Anyway, I came across this. I ID'd it years ago anyway. I remade it. Sampled a little note from Alice DJ, Better Off Alone. And I remade the song so I could remember it because I loved it that much. Anyway, so on the old school Tune ID group, I was looking for this DJ Psy tape, which was like one of my favourite tapes. I think it was Dougal on the other side. Yeah, it's Dougal on the other side and Psy on one side, and it was an Adrenaline tape from an 8-pack. I swear I'd gone through all these SoundCloud links and YouTube things and all old school forums and things trying to find this tape, and it was always the same one: Spaceship Pack, this pack, that pack, and it was never that tape. Anyway, I think it was Gavin. Like he was like, "Oh, is this it? Is this the tape on the old school Tune ID?" And I was like, "Fucking hell, yes, it is." And it was just like. That night must have been so good, like, the set that Psy does. I mean, it's typical DJ Psy, it's a bit of a mess. Like, but oh my god, the tunes, it's just the greatest selection. It's like 96, the pinnacle of 96. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna pick up the rest of these tunes I want. You know, I still haven't got them all yet, but I mean, I had most of my favourite ones before anyway. But having that tape again, it's sort of like got me back into picking up a few more. So all I've been ripping recently, if you've been on my channel, is like happy hardcore stuff. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just the sheer energy and happiness and silliness, really. You know, like these days, so much music, so dreary and just depressing. And I think, like, I listened to the Arctic Monkeys' latest album, and I think that was a final straw. I know, like, you know, some people love it, some people don't like it. My opinion doesn't matter, but I was like, I'm going to listen to some more happy hardcore. I've had enough dreary music. And I think with the house thing as well, it's like I've got most of the stuff I've ever wanted now. So, all the stuff I haven't got, it's either only available overseas or it's like impossible to get. So I was like, right, I'm going to start picking up a few happy hardcore bits that I've missed, you know. But the thing is, some of them just don't exist. Like, I remember years ago, an Antisocial Whistle came out. And I heard it and I was like, I'm sure this tune was out last year and it was like better. Do you know what I mean? So I was like digging around trying to find it, and there's just no mention of like an earlier version of it. But on the Slipmatt United Dance Mix, I think it's number 4 maybe, I can't remember. There's a remix of Force and Styles' Funfair, Hixie remix. And like, you know, it does a Funfair tune, and then the next breakdown is basically Whistle, but it's done in that like 96 style, not the later 97 sort of crap vibe. And I only heard it recently. I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is that tune. What I've been wondering about ever since Antisocial Whistle. Because for me, like, when Bonkers came out, Bonkers 1 was like the only one that had any decent tunes on. After that, it was like the production all got too similar. Everything was the same, and it was just too cheesy. I mean, like, a lot of happy hardcore, obviously it's cheesy happy hardcore, and I love, like, the whole 80s throwback thing, and the stupid sampling, and some of the crap, just the ridiculous distorted kick drums, and just the mess they make of the Amen break over it. It's just like a perfect combination for me. It's like rock hard, but so uplifting. It's like Lucozade for the brain, for the ears, you know what I mean? It just gets me going. So anyway, here's my top 10 favourite happy hardcore tunes. Number 1, Force and Styles, Apollo 13, B-side is Shining Down. Like, I know Force and Styles, it's cheesy. The middle section in this, the second piano breakdown, oh my god, it's just amazing. And then, you know, the first piano tune, it's a bit dull, like whatever, and then it comes in later and that's crap. It's just the middle section is worth it. It's just sublime. Number 2, Infernus, I Want Your Love, Bass D and King Matthew remix. Just another so uplifting tune. I Want Your Love sample in it. Just the kick drum's just so out of tune with the rest of the sweetness. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a perfect combination of and cheese. I need to get another copy of this though, because the B side of this is pressed way off centre. I mean, I only play the A side anyway, but you know, I want to rip it and get it sounding perfect. 3, Cheddar Volume 2 Sign Unknown remix. The you know, the Chain Fleetwood Mac sample in it with a filthy bass over it, and then, you know, the Basement Phil Take Me Up as well, which comes in later. Just, you know, them tunes are just perfectly formed and it just builds up the energy, and then when that Basement Phil bit comes in, it's just unbelievable. 10-inch though, I'm never a fan of 10 inches. They always just sound a bit crap. Next, Yes Recordings Volume 2, which is DJ Vinyl Junkie Tearing My Love Apart. This was on that side tape, and I couldn't remember the lyrics, and this was like back in the day. This was one of the tunes I was like trying to ID that I could buy, because I remember it was just like the greatest tune ever. Another just piece of perfection. The bass line, the pianos, the strings, the vocal sample, just the whole way it's put together in perfect order. It's just amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Dougal and Mickey Skeedale, On a High, Fading Heatwave remix. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the original's better, you know, by this point it got too cheesy. That's what's so good about it. It's fantastic. One thing that irritates me about Essential Platinum now. Fading Heatwave, Sky High remix, On a High remix. In tiny text, written by Dougal and Mickey Skeedale. So on Discogs, this is like listed as Fading Heatwave, Sky High remix, On a High remix, when really it should be listed as Dougal and Mickey Skeedale, Sky High remix, On a High remix. Remix by Fading Heatwave. Anyway, fucking awesome. There's a third mix actually that only came out on dubplate. It wasn't quite as good. DJ Seduction meets Billy Bunter. Rhythm flow. Listen to the rhythm flow. It's just fantastic. It's not so cheesy. I mean, it's cheesy, but there's no pianos and strings and like ridiculously high pitched vocals. It's just brutal. Absolutely perfection. But when the organ comes in later, it's just. Donna Grassie, I believed, official bootleg. Just Another Label. I don't know, limited 200 pressings only. I don't know who did this remix, but it seems on Just Another Label. Probably a ham demo or just in time. I mean, there weren't that many people on this label, really. I think all the lyrics were originally from, was it Ramos and Supreme tune? So I know they released this and it was like more breakbeat style. But I think they were first used on Ramos and Supreme tune. I can't remember. DJ Energy, Hardcore Fever. The ultimate cheese, but this was like one of the, you know, like when all this stuff first came in, this was like, this is the sound. This is, you know, this is the sound. Most uplifting, banging bass. Fantastic. This guy did some well good stuff. Billy Bunter, design, Rob Vanden featuring Joanne Robinson, Better Day. Happy mix. It's like this great British techno label. Back in the day, I remember I had like a few tunes on it, but for some reason I always had this like crap vibe about it. Maybe it was just the artwork, the design. But this was just one of the gems, man. I mean, there's a lot of good tunes on that label. Like the first, like 10 especially, most of them, so good. Like pretty much essential. I've got most of them. I haven't got number 1. I haven't got number 2. Yeah, I think I've got the rest. It's so good. Fantastic strings, fat bass line, vocals, nice vibe, really good. And finally, this one's actually from 1995, but you know it got caned in '96 as well. X-Cess, Genetic and Fade, Technoblast. This costs like, these days now, this costs like $2.50 on Discogs. Like, what the hell? This is an absolute amazing tune. You know, the pianos, the singing, just the brutalness of it. It's like it's like, you know, Brisk played it as like the last tune a few times, and on a few other sets I've heard like other people have played it as like the last tune of the night or whatever. It is just that tune, do you know what I mean? A long chilling intro, and then it's just like, for 95 it's really fast as well. Absolutely legendary tune. It's absolutely essential. Even like my friend Helen, for some reason, she's just always hated hardcore. She's like an Italo girl. I've been trying to get her into it for years and years. It's like 10 years or whatever. And every once in a while, I like slip a tune. I'm like, Helen, what do you think about this? Oh, bloody hardcore. Anyway, I think it was Luna C piano progression. She's like, oh my god, that piano, this is amazing. I might get her to listen to this one next and see if she'll see if it helps her get into it a bit more. But like her with me, it's like you can't just, after buying House for all these years. I mean, I know, like, why is anybody going to limit their record collection to one style of music? But once you start buying something new, it's like, right, well, I need this, I've got to get that, you know, I need it. And then you'll get all the stuff that you really want, and then you'll be like, well, I like this. like the Knowledge is the Key tune on that's on Great British Techno as well. I remember like when the tapes I had it on and stuff, I was like, well, it's alright. And then like some guy on Discogs had it. I was buying a couple off. I thought I'll get that as well. It's fucking so good, absolutely amazing. But yeah, so like now it's like I've got quite a bit. I've got a lot of the stuff that I always wanted. But yeah, there's a few tunes you just cannot get. Like they were only released on Dubplate, never got put out, or like when they did get put out, they changed them. Like the DNA remix of Really Love You by Dougal and Mickey Skeedale. The good version, it's only on a Dubplate, and like when they like got around to mastering it again or whatever and rearranged a few bits, it just don't quite have the power as the Dubplate did. Do you know what I mean? There's another one. What's it called? JDS High Love, Slipmatt remix, but there's a different edit I had on this Brisk tape, and it had this like acidy bit before the piano came in, and it was just so much better than the Slipmatt mix. It was pretty similar, you know what I mean, but there's like a whole middle section just built up the pressure so much more. It was just better. And like I say in that Higgsy remix of Force the Styles Funfair that doesn't exist. But yeah, there's this DJ Vibes, I think it's Dreamscape CD from '97, and you can tell it's '97. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's early '97, so it's still good. Three Amigos Find a Way or something. Is it that one? Some of the tunes, like the first tune on it actually, so good. Only exists on Dubplate. Never gonna get it. Why didn't this shit get put out? Like, they put any old crap out, you know what I mean? You get singles and it's like one thing on one side, one on another side. Why didn't anybody sign it and get it put out? It's so good. Anyway, who knows? But so I'll put links to my favourite tunes. I think I've got them all uploaded onto my channel now. Yeah, so like any house heads and stuff, I'm sorry about this. I'll be going back to normal at some point soon, I reckon, and getting back into the house. I need a holiday from it, you know what I mean? I might even do another top 10 hardcore tune. Nah, they are my favourite ones. Right, so peace out, and I'll see you all soon.